Well, hello people, and welcome to a new Manor Lords run. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Major Update 5 has dropped for Manor Lords just before the turn of the year, introducing many new major changes, including new maps, upgrades to the castle system, changes and additions to food, including new forageable resources, alongside the AI now actually fighting one another, which is definitely one of the biggest things I've been waiting for this game to receive. Possibly the best update Manor Lords has had in its lifespan so far. Welcome back to Manor Lords Update 5, everyone. So let's come straight into it, everyone. Let's get stuck into a new game. Not too fussed, we'll go for the guy covered in metal for our avatar, and I guess we'll play as the Vex from Destiny. We'll go for challenging difficulty, and I'm going to be playing the Fractured Realm, which is 4 noble families were granted rights to settle these lands. With too many claims and too little space, ambition brews, alliances will form, betrayals will sting, and war seems inevitable. Sounds like a great time, doesn't it? Perfect. So we got a couple new maps. Germanic Valley's the base one. Devil's Hill, Jagged Cliffs. Last time we played Lake Lem, so I'll avoid that one. I think Jagged Cliffs, could be quite fun. Now we can drag our position around alongside our AI friends as well. So I think I'll try spread us out as much as possible. And cunts bracket me is starting up here, of course. Thank you. Thank you for that, Manor Lords. Straight out the gate with the cunts, of course. Didn't even wait to name the horse. Well, let's begin, shall we? So welcome back, everyone, to the delicious, cinematic, and visually pleasing experience that is this game. Always love the start of a new map, and let's check out the new map indeed. It really is Jagged Cliffs, isn't it? Little streams knocking about. So I'm really happy to see Manor Lords getting these constant new maps with the updates, it seems. I'm really hoping that isn't going to stop. And maybe a custom map editor one day as well. We can wait and see, can't we? But this is our province right here, and indeed it is pretty much on a hillside. We have wild animals, which is very nice. Rich salt, stone, clay, and mushrooms, which is one of our new forageable resources over here. And we also have a new message. Build up your town, your manor, and when ready, press claim towards the regions owned by your opponents. Absolutely we will. So let's get stuck into it. We want our logging camp first of all, not to be logging this over here, because that's rich animals, we don't want to scare those away. And if we've got clay up this way, I reckon we can start deforesting this over here. We'll complement this, of course, with a woodcutter's lodge. And we'll stick this just next door. Our initial food source is of course going to be the wild animals over here. And we probably will have a road coming down here, so I'll make sure that hooks into that. That can go there. We also want, I guess I wouldn't mind grabbing some mushrooms. Not priority though, we use the animals first. After this we want a well. We've got some underground water deposits here. Those we'll put them here. And then we'll start mapping out some road networks. So we'll send a road up to our logging camp. Kind of bring this down. So this could be quite the challenge because Manor Lords doesn't work overly well with steep terrain. And this is exactly that. But I think I can possibly envision our castle perched on this cliff rock, right? I think that'd be quite special. So we'll work towards that eventually in this run. And then we'll also send this road up to the top. Actually, there's a road here, isn't there? So let's hook into that. Are you going anywhere? Yeah, an outside connection here, actually. Let's hope the raiders don't come down that road. You very well could do. I've had several problems with that in Manor Lords before. But I think that's everything we need now, isn't it? We have our wood and campfires. And we're also going to want our granary as well. And most importantly on this difficulty. And I think we'll just base all this stuff around the main road through town. Storehouse immediately next door to that as well. And I'm going to make the granary top priority because otherwise our foodstuffs will start to spoil. And on challenging difficulty, we want as much help as we can get, really.
Come along, lad.
Because Manor Lords continues to improve in many aspects of its actual offering of content, but visually and audibly, it's just a treat for the senses, isn't it? No other kind of survival settlement builder quite hits just like Manor Lords does. But this is coming on splendidly. Fast forward our time here. Then we can get our jobs going. In terms of initial money, salt and wild animals will both provide plenty of that. There's the granary. Let's get that working straight away. Yes, you will want a little market area. We can do that for you. I'm envisioning the houses to just follow the main road here. And our market, just something a little tasteful. 15 stores should be quite handy.
Who approved this construction plan? A blind man or a fool? Or perhaps a blind fool?
Food store goes up. Family is hungry. Yep, don't worry. The food market is up.
No, it should absolutely
We can also start hunting our animals now too. And our loggers. I'm going to leave 2 families building just so it goes a little quicker, and then I'll put some more into logging. Hunters people. Yep, we're now starting to hunt. Let's give them a road up to the hunting camp, shall we? Kind of feed this along the homeless tents. Back up into town there. Watch him hunt for the first time. Class is hunting. Hopefully he will turn out to be a class hunter, if you will. There's your prey class, there it is. Killed a hare, that looks like. I think it is. And he's going to bring that back out of the forest to the road. Okay, you probably maybe want a road heading down here, don't we? Let's see if we can just develop a road into the forest without scaring the animals off. You might come back a little quicker. And we can employ our storehouse worker now as well. So we don't need a firewood cutter immediately. We have 20 firewood, I think, do we? Yeah. So we'll do that once we run into a surplus of timber, or at least a few extra families. So let's plan out our first burgage plots as to where these guys are going to sit. I'm thinking here, and then we might do a couple of larger burgage plots this side to help us develop some vegetables, I think. Just wait for some wood to pile up here. Can we also build the extraction pit yet? No, we need the saw pit for that, which we'll get to. That's fine. First rainy spring storm of the season as well. I don't think any other game quite does weather like Manor Lords, does it? The way the trees blow. It's brilliant. Cannot get enough of this game, everyone. I'm so happy to see it carry on growing as well. That'll give us 5 homes there, alongside rooms for upgrades and living expansion as well, which I think is the pattern I'm going to go with here. We just need to wait for 5 more bits of timber, so drop this in when that turns up. And there we go. There's 10 planks, or bits of timber, so we can build that. Another thing I like to get quite early in Manor Lords is going to be another hitching post, I think, because I want a second ox. So that way when we're building, the timber production doesn't come to a grinding halt. And I think it'd be quite nice to have them here, kind of positioned in and amongst the town centre, like traders and workers are stationing their animals here. So I think we'll kind of keep this and blend it into the town design as it goes up. So burgage plots are going to be super important, not only for giving us homes and getting rid of the debuff to the people's happiness, but also for producing food, especially vegetables, because they're so important. Because trade is quite expensive, especially for food. And not every province is fertile. We'll check this one. Yep, no. No flax, no barley, and maybe a little bit of rye is available. Possibly down here we can set up a rye farm. But otherwise farming isn't an option here really. Which is fine, I like that that kind of happens, you know. I wouldn't mind making this highest priority actually. So then we can actually just go ahead and get the second ox. Which will help. Church access, yes, we'll build your church. We can probably bring in our saw pit as well now, can't we? Which again, we'll stick up near our forestry industry up here, which is going to be relocated at some point anyway. Stick that there. And then let's buy new ox. So one ox can help build things, drag the timber around, whilst another one, which I'm actually going to assign, Sewerstein, or Sewerstein is maybe how you pronounce that, can be solely dedicated to gathering timber, while the other ox does whatever people need it to do. Tends to be a good way of how I've kind of got started on challenge and difficulty anyway. I'd love to make a noob's guide for Manor Lords one day as well, once it reaches its final form at least. Obviously things are still very subject to change at the minute. Cool. So let's start paying for some extra living accommodation on the current sites. That way we can get more people in. And give us some more families to start optimizing these. Whilst that goes on, let's go and check out our AI friends. You should be here. Here we go. So they've got their first little homes up. Logging camp, saw pit, marketplace. I think it's definitely worth kind of stopping in and checking on how the AI is doing. It can almost sometimes be a way of just gauging inspiration as to how to expand what it is they're going for first, you know? As we'll see today as well. During the attack, if they do get attacked, and they now fight back, which is such a huge improvement for Manor Lords to have actual interactive AI settlements. Really quite fun. Let's bring our time forward here. How are we doing for supplies? We should also be gathering small pelts as well now. We are indeed. I wouldn't mind immediately coming into some trade with those. Trading post is only 4 planks. And I think here by the storehouse and the granary, so tradables are close by. Our storage at the hunting camp is full. People at the storehouse should be coming over to gather that pretty soon. Yep, there we go. Comes and picks it up. Takes it back. Fantastic. And then we just need to address these guys now. So the only thing they're missing is church access. However, they are also going to be missing foraged vegetables or grains or fruits, because that's only our temporary starting bread supply. That's keeping them happy in that regard. So I wouldn't mind bringing in some forageables. Let's have a look at our gathering. I'll place the forager's hut, not the forester's hut this time, because I did that before. So in terms of where I want this placed, it's quite a long walk for them, isn't it? I guess I wouldn't mind it over here. It's a little bit isolated. Not the sort of place you'd want to be on your own, is it? And we'll have a little switchbacky road coming up past an eventual mine before arriving here. They are currently teeming, so hopefully we'll get another family in to work on that. We should also set a herd limit to the rich animal deposit as well. Let's go down to 8. That food source won't last forever. But we'll definitely get some chickens in the burgers pots too. Lots of meat, but mainly veg. Speaking of the vegetable plots, I wouldn't mind having one of them here. Do we want to maybe put the church in somewhere? Let's have a look just how big that's going to be. I feel like just from an aesthetic point of view, the church climbing the hill, although it has to be within orbit of the residences, doesn't it? Okay, I like that idea, I think. I think we'll put the church up here. So for some of our upgrades, we do need planks, don't we? So let's get the saw pit done now because I want to start building some of these planks here. Wonderful. And there's small village. Look at unlock point. So the other ones still aren't available. Hopefully this year we'll start to see the expanded development tree. We saw these in the last update, but there's a few useful ones here. This one for us gives us the hunting hound, which since we're reliant so much on hunting anyway might be quite nice. We also get +1 pelt on every successful hunt as well, which we are going to be selling. Or minor trades export value is also increased by 50%. We will be selling a lot of minor goods like salt and pelt, so that's actually quite good. And agriculture efficiency is not something we need to worry about. And mushrooms have double deposits. I think we're going to go for this one, of the Votland. I think so. I also played recently with the small holdings one, which is quite fun. It enables level 1s to be upgraded into a specialist, essentially, so their back garden becomes their job. But I think for this one, I'm going to go for of the Votland. For this particular province. I don't think there's really a meta here as to which one to choose. It really depends what resources you have. So that'll be a lot of fun. And we're getting some new families moving in now as well. Perfect. These will become immediate sawyers. There you go. And then the next family, which hopefully isn't too far away, especially with these extra living space upgrades coming in pretty thick and fast. And we should be able to also get some mushrooms before they dwindle. And fuel is becoming a touch of a problem now. I'm going to steal my lumber jack and tell him to become a woodcutter for a little bit. Our trading post is also going in now too. Fantastic. So it should be quite a fun challenge. Lands are stricken by a drought. Goodness me. Oh yeah, look at that. Everything's all parched and dry now. Isn't that fun? Well, for me. Not for the people living here. I love how those map conditions just totally change the landscape, right? Like it looks dry. Does anyone have fish? Do we have any fish deposits? Not that I can see here. I'm pretty sure they go all dry and shallow as well, don't they? But it doesn't look like the map has actually spawned in with any fish at all. Not even on the rivers, I don't think. Oh yeah, there you go. There's one here. Eels. So they're definitely a new type of fish, at least. And then in terms of this province we claim southbound, there's rich berries in here. I think we'll likely grab this one, or the one next door. Whichever one's better in terms of resources. There you go, there's some fish. Yeah, so you see how it all dries out? That's really dire, isn't it? So, that's really fun. Love to see that coming in. How are we doing for food here? 2 months worth of fuel. These guys will be addressing that now. Like, we also need to begin importing tools as well. Tools are a very important resource in Manor Lords these days. Then once we have our first planks in here, which we should do, you guys over here. You're waiting, you're guarding an ox, are you? I'll tell you what, well, we don't currently have anyone working here, so I'm going to actually unassign Sebastian. So we can do some other things, because we don't have anyone working here now. That'll change again, though. Your family's moved in, perfect. You come and forage, please. Well, we could, if you built it, let's go ahead and get that built. Our trading post is in, so let's go ahead and set up our first early game trades. So we will assign a family immediately here. So we want to be importing tools, and I will ask for a constant surplus of 10, so we never run out. And then we also want to be selling craftable materials. We have a lot of pelt. We want to export that. And then I don't really want a surplus of pelt. We don't craft anything with it. We could go for the dedicated trade, but I'm going to hold off on that just yet. Cool. So we should see our people now beginning to trade. Fantastic. In a moment, you'll also start selling salt as well. Once those first planks come in anyway, which is taking a little while. Your productivity is only at 19%. Although that is increasing. Bandit camp has been sighted. Are you near? Yeah, you are actually. Slightly concerning. We'll deal with that. Cool, so let's wait for some planks to tick in here. Yeah, we're starting to run out of timber now as well. And I'm going to go for the mining pit here. So we begin to harvest the salt over here. And we'll also get stuck into a back garden upgrade. And we want larger homes to have vegetables. So for these smaller ones here, I'm going to run as animals. And I think I'm going to do animal pens alongside chickens as well. We'll do 2 animal pens to start out with. Yeah, there we go. We've got 10 months worth of fuel now. The woodcutters can go back to working in the logging camp. Perfect. And these guys are slowly making their way out here to build it. Come on, you can get it done before the season ends. I believe in you. There's 130 mushrooms there now as well. There you go. And we could build the herb garden, but I'll wait till I've got a little bit of money. I want to spend this last starting cash on some animals, I think. So I think I'm going to run a pathway around the edge of our animal forest. That can just go off down there, probably. Alongside this one coming in to the mine and back to the crossroads. And likely the same down here as well. And then we'll use this to kind of mark out where we want our larger burgage plot homes here. So let's come into this. We could do... That one there is not too bad. I'm thinking maybe a little narrower, actually. Maybe something along these kind of lines here. It's a pretty decent sized back garden for us. We can probably mimic that this side as well. So I'll go with this one. Once we have our final login as well, of course. And I'm going to stick that second family in the logging camp as well. I think... Yeah, there we go. There's 2 planks. Let's build that now. The saw pit does end up eating a lot of your timber supply, so if you find yourself running low, that can usually be why. There we go. That's one of them. And then we'll do the same thing pretty much here. Rotate them around. And that gives me a decent enough size back garden. So I'll have that one in as well. So these 2 plots here will be responsible for producing a lot of our produce. And then hopefully with another family on the way in the not too distant future, yeah, we can begin to stop the mining pit. And we can also pay for the deep mine as well, which enables infinite extraction, which we will get to that, but I want to buy some goats first because hides will eventually be required for clothes. So we'll do that. We'll grab 2 goats. Spends 14 of our wealth. These guys now will become vegetable gardens. And once they've upgraded, we can pay for the seeds. And this will help give us the food variety required for level 1. We can also get that church built as well now, I think, can't we? What are we missing here? 1 more timber. There it is. And we'll tuck that in right behind the trading post there. And bring in some roads just so we can start mapping out this little bit of town here. I wouldn't also mind getting another extraction mine down here as well for this stone. Because we'll need this at some point. Let's have that there. New families coming in all the time. Fantastic. 2 months worth of food. Yeah, that's fine. You grow beets. And we'll also do the living expansions in these homes as well. Right, with that in, we can start extracting salt with those spare families. And then that can also be traded by the trading post as well, of course. Which I'm pretty sure is a crafting material. It is. It's a major trade as well. So we will have to pay to establish the route. So we'll export that. Keep a surplus of 10 in. We might use some of it for our own sausage production, but that's not quite upon us yet. And then we just need the next drop of regional wealth to come in as well. Here comes the church. Already see our little settlement just starting to climb this hill here. With the castle on the top at some point as well. The church is in now. And that gives us pretty much max happiness for everyone at level 1. Stone Gatherer's Camp is in. Let's get that employed straight away, because this is only a limited resource. We might as well just harvest it and then we can delete the building. Our work area for the forager is empty, so they can finish work for the season. And your back garden upgrade will be vegetables again. We're going to get another person trading as well, I think. This way we can start to shift a bit more volume. It looks like it might be a slightly tough winter. We might run out of food just as it kicks in. But we will also continue to add animal pens onto the back here. And then I think I'll save these last 2 for chickens. Storage is full at the storehouse, is it? Let's go ahead and do the upgrade then. And we'll also take the granary off at the same time. Even though that's pretty much nowhere near being built. That's okay. And we had clay here as well, didn't we? And we're going to need that for the level 2 church. So we'll build another mining pit out here. There we go. And then we'll also want to start processing that as well. We'll probably also want to process our stone as well, won't we? Yeah, rough stone to dress stone. We don't have any rough stone, I think, do we? But we will also want mortar for the castle eventually. Where they will burn rubble stone into mortar at the kiln. It's up here by the industry. It's probably where I want that. And then we'll build this stone mason hut as well. We'll just have that up there. Keep that industry clustered together at the top of the hill. Yeah, I think, are these seeds much more expensive because of the buff we took? Yeah, so field and vegetable gardens are more expensive due to that upgrade. Which could be actually a possible point to actually wait to get your vegetables planted before choosing that one. But it's fine. It'll still see us through, we hope. Stonemason's hut is finished. There's also the clay furnace we need as well, isn't it? There we go. Let's have that there. Actually... Yeah, so there's that hunting hound upgrade. Which is +1 small game and +1 pelt on every successful hunt. We'll do that. Purely for the aesthetic of the doggo. And I'm going to reduce that herd size as well. Let's go down to 5 just while we're in the winter, because we're going to need that food and pelt to see us through, I think. There's a bit more trade coming in. And of course, once we hit 50, we can unlock the salt route as well. Which will be nice for us. Any other jobs we want to bring more workers into? Wouldn't mind maybe another storehouse worker at this point now. There's more things to move. Now people here are stocking goods. I like that it breaks it down by family here now as well. You see we have 2 families of 3 both working at the trade post for us. Let's go ahead and get the clay furnace working, because we're going to want those tiles. And what else for level 2 church? Mortar and dressed stone. And we don't have any rough stone here at all, do we? So we can demolish that one now, no longer needed. And then that leaves us exploiting all the resources already in this bit of the map, doesn't it? Everything's plugged into now. And then we can possibly have a look at our administration, just so we can have the manor built before we run out of those resources. Of course, we won't have the materials to build a full castle at this stage. So we'll just accept our regular castle planner. And this guy can live atop the hill, which I think is definitely the most appropriate place for a castle in that situation, isn't it? Fuel is running low as well now, so we'll stick someone back into the woodcutter's lodge. Another bandit camp has rocked up, which again is dangerously close to us, isn't it? Hopefully the AI might trigger them before we do. I think they're closer to the AI there than us, aren't they? And we have a new message. We will track their movement. The raiders will be here in 365 days indeed. And we should also be coming back up to our growing season as well now. So we'll add a forager. That leaves us with no families, so we'll remove one of the loggers. And those mushrooms will help prop up our food supply a little bit, at least until we can start to grow our own. You will have a little bit of squeaky bum time with the food on challenging, but once these vegetable plots start to kick on, we will be alright, I think. Just looking at what else is in our storehouse we could possibly get involved in trading. Got quite a few planks, so I think I'll just export them. Let's keep 100 in, because I will use quite a lot of planks. With the global market supplies average, we won't get too much, but it'll help us bring in a little bit more coin, which is really what's holding us back at the minute, in terms of keeping everyone happy with food at least. So we have some unhappy people here now. Yeah, so you see they've lost their food variant because we run out of starting bread now. These guys won't be happy until we can sort their food out. The foragers seem to bounce in between 74 and 75% productivity, which I suppose I'm happy with. Running out of fuel, you sure? Should have woodcutters. It looks like you guys are sowing seeds, are you? Looks that way, doesn't it? I think we're burning through more fuel because we have fuel producing buildings now, don't we? So where do we want to steal a family from here? Well, we're not selling... How much was that salt root, actually? I need to buy that. Crafting materials. There it is, yeah. So if it's a major trade, we have to establish a trade route, but at least now we can start to sell a lot of that salt we should have. And then it's another 50 gold for the deep mine as well, which we'll certainly want. So we'll save up for that after this. Up to 69% happiness now, which is nice. I think we can probably afford another home on this corner here as well, can't we? Let's do 2 in that little corner. Give us some extra hands. Yes, more mouths to feed, but we should be okay in that regard, I think. Yeah, that salt is starting to make its way into the trading post now too. Fantastic. In terms of weaponry, we have none. So I'm going to hire 2 spears and some archers. We have no ways of producing spears because the import materials are very expensive. So we will have to just buy spears ourselves. There we go, which is a major trade, but pretty important. So I will do that actually want to put some upgrades I want for the village. Wouldn't mind giving them a horse as well, as it allows a lot more to be carried. Yeah, I think we'll do that. There's plenty more gold coming in now, so I'm going to use that to give them their horse. That will allow us to make even more money. We do need some more stable space to accommodate the horse, so we will upgrade both of these stables to, well, the hitching post to small stables in the centre of the town. That way we'll be able to hold them. We can also come in with some chickens as well now. Let's get our first set of chickens in here. I think we'll make all these last houses here chickens. And then once we get a big cash influx, I'll get the last of the vegetables planted in here as well. Looks like we're coming up to our first harvest of beets now. You should see them making their way into the food economy. Yeah, there we go. Beetroots coming in. Which does re-satisfy a bunch of these people. Well, until they get their meat back anyway. Trading post. Let's actually go ahead and assign... Yeah, there you go. He's already assigned. Erhard the horse is working at our trading post for us. Fab. So we'll make the shields ourselves via an artisan. In terms of actually defending the town. So I'm going to import spears and just keep a surplus of... Maybe not 10 because they're quite expensive. 5. Obviously we can't receive them yet because we don't have the trade. Then is our house building yet? Let's make this priority because that's going to give us our garrison. Which we really will need. To defend if the bandits come our way. Stonemason's hut are you producing now? No, it's not rough stone we have in, is it? No, it's rubble stone. Okay, well, we will need to import that for you then. How much is that if we want to bring rough stone in? Imagine it's a building material. Or a crafting material, is it? Yeah, rough stone. It is a minor trade. So we could get it in now. Although, interestingly enough, when you actually hover over it now, it says to never trade this good, which is quite interesting, isn't it? But I'm going to have to, because I need rough stone. That's the long and short of it. Let's come back to our homes here and continue to add in Chicken City. These will be our last chickens here. One more on the end there too. We should start to see our little animals. Should also see a little bit of hide beginning to filter through now as well. Yeah, we got 4 of them. I think we'll get some more families working in the salt deposit as well. Just so we can start moving more volume. We did just get another influx of cash. Our new retinue was just assembled as well. Now the manor's complete. Fantastic. With that in now, we can actually set a tax rate, which is going to piss them off a little bit, but that's fine. We'll do 5% tithe to the church, so we can begin to collect influence. And 10% land tax seems to be about as much as they'll handle. These guys aren't happy with food variety still, although that's really meat and fish that's causing them to be like that. But I want to spend my money on some weapons trades here. So we're going to need spears. We have to be able to defend ourselves. So we'll start importing them. That's great news. And then shields, we will have to bring up to our first level 2 house with an artisan in. And I guess I wouldn't mind having this.
Oh, this is heavier than it looks.
Kind of opposite the church, yeah. So we could do 2, and then both of these could actually be artisans. Which I think is what I will do. Right by the storehouse and the trade post here as well, so we can sell whatever they produce once we're in surplus. And we'll also stock the mining pit as well now. Realise I stocked the clay furnace without stocking the mining pit. That probably would have helped. So that will address... We have the mortar thing, don't we? Lime kiln. Yes, we will actually send someone there immediately and just take that worker back from the mine. This way we can just make sure we have those clay tiles and stuff we need for level 2 church before we extinguish them all and have to pay for them again. You can have the living upgrade, and then you can also get your chicken coop as well. All of these guys are doing stuff for us now. Either goats and or chickens. I think you don't have any animals yet, do you? Let's do some more goats. I do find goats to be better than pigs, although pigs are able to produce sausages, which is a good food variety down the line. Wonderful, bit more money coming in now. Our artisans are here. I won't give you the living expansion because you will become artisan once someone actually lives there anyway. So with so much meat now coming, well, eventually coming from these homes here, that should remove our food variation debuff that we're getting at the minute. The meat and fish is in fairly short supply with just the one wild animal deposit. Mushrooms are still coming in. I think while we've also got that money, I'm going to pay for the deep mine as well. This way we'll get infinite extraction with the salt never running out. There's a bit more money coming in as well. Let's go ahead and plant cabbages for 120 regional wealth. I would definitely advise planting your crops before taking that region specialization, I think. So they're significantly more expensive with that one chosen. But it's fine. Money does eventually start rolling in. So that's the roof tiles, I think, done now, isn't it? Yes, it is. And the lime kiln is also done. So now it's just the rough stone we need. What was it we wanted? 20. I know the game tells me not to buy it in, but it is only a minor trade, and I do need it. So just import 20 rough stone. And then as that filters in, the stonemason can pick it up and turn it into dress stone for us, so we can get level 2 church. Fantastic, and it is a real bleak existence out here, isn't it, everyone? Should we enjoy a first person tour? Manor Lords update 5. People out here going about their day. So everyone, it's a time to be thankful to be born in the 21st century, isn't it? When this is life back in the day. Certainly no YouTubers back here, is there? Could you imagine if all these guys were TikTokers recording themselves harvesting all this produce? Be a different game altogether, wouldn't it? I like how it's growing up here, especially climbing up this hill slowly. I think seeing the road ascend up this hill gradually up to the castle, which we can't unfortunately see from here. Maybe if we clear some of those trees out, we'll be able to. But otherwise, fantastic. So our biggest problem right now is just food variety, especially with meat and animal products, it seems. And I wouldn't mind a third vegetable plot. Can I get you in here on quite an awkward size? It's not fantastic. Maybe we can cheese the size of this a little bit. I mean, that's perfect, yeah, amazing. Let's do that. As long as you don't encroach upon the red circle, your animals will stay where they are. But this will give us another large plot to plant the... I think carrots was our last one, wasn't it? Here we got cabbage and beetroot here, so we'll get carrots in this one. We could also begin to sell some of that surplus food as well. We're gathering an awful lot of mushrooms. With 11 months worth of food behind us now. Goodness gracious, everyone. In terms of base supplies, everyone's still pretty happy, I think. And hopefully the stonemason should be receiving now. Maybe another family trade-in as well. I think I'll do that. Super, here's our berry spot level 1. Brand new vegetable garden. So these will really sustain our early population. Vegetable gardens are very powerful, as are the orchards as well for the fruit. But they do take a little bit longer to come in than the vegetable ones do. Starting to accrue some fairly decent regional wealth now too. I think I can just take this guy to level 2. We'll lose a goat. Which is fine, but no one's moving into these yet, and I really want the artisan producing sooner rather than later. So we'll get this one made highest priority. We've got one more stable space left for an animal. We could possibly look at another ox now. That'll give us 3. Mushrooms are done for the season. Thank you very much, mushroom pickers. And we also need a little bit more fuel as well, so I'm going to stick 2 families into the woodcutter's lodge now. Destroy that, and then you will become... What is it we need? We can produce shields with a joiner's workshop. Or war bows. I think we'll go with shields first. That way we can stock our spearmen. Indeed, once the spears start to arrive anyway. Here's one of the merchants. Looks like he's coming in with a spear trade, I think, is he? Looks that way. Yep, there you go. There's one spear delivered. Super. And then once we have the regional wealth, there it is, speak of the devil. We'll have our joiner's workshop, which will give us our shields for the spearmen. And we can also sell those shields as well. Which I think will produce some planks. So of course that takes a family out of our work pool, with it being an artisan. And then you, we want, it was carrots here, wasn't it? We're not too far away from being able to afford that. Possibly the most expensive carrots we've ever planted in Manor Lords. But we're in a pretty stable position here now. We've got some decent food behind us coming into the winter. And we're hopefully not too far away from being able to buy the church. Yeah, we're at 13 dress stone now. So 7 more. And then we can get church level 2. Here's our joiner's shop. Yeah, produce shields. Not too bothered about production limits. As we'll just sell whatever is in surplus. But there we go, we now have 6 of our fair militia. 5 in the other one as well. So we'll keep trying to advance our forces before the raiders get here in 72 days' time. In terms of our production, we should be producing a large shields now. People out transporting. Let's bring in the planks in to make shields. There's a little workshop back here. Oh, slight glitch into the roof. And then the building. That's fine though, he's at work, right? It only has 59% productivity. Because 41% of that time is apparently spent waiting. Are we running low on logs in the storehouse, I wonder? There's 93 of them here. Maybe that's still ticking up, is it, that productivity? Possibly is. They have a really short commute time here. You can actually see them running back and forth to get the planks, can't you? And we have a threshold of 100 set at the trade post as well. So they should always have supplies ready to go. Just 2 people unhappy with us. What's wrong with you? That's because no one lives there currently. And the other ones... yes, you over here because you're at level 2 now, aren't you? To consider level 2, garments are now going to come into play. For which we currently do have hide. Which will give us leather. But I think for clothes, we actually need sheep, don't we? And because we're not going to be doing any crop farming here. I think instead a livestock trade post might be the route to go down. So we'll have this here. What's the cost here? Just 2 logs. which we don't currently have, probably because you're moving quite far for timber now. So let's relocate our logging camp. And we've got quite a lot over here. But I think probably here is maybe a better option. Yeah, let's relocate our forestry operations. So we have 2 woodcutters. Oh, crazy camera glitch. And then we'll also do the saw pit as well. You can come down here. These guys can stay. You're not going to be a permanent station anyway. Because when we come to need dress stone for the castle, I'll probably just buy it in already dressed. I think is how we'll handle that. The lime kiln for producing the mortar is going to need a feed of rubble stone. Which again is going to have to be imported because we've used all we have here now. So we'll delete that for right now. And the clay furnace can carry on chilling out. We'll keep making those tiles. Probably export them at some point too. Have a modest yield over at the salt mine. In terms of the maintenance, some workplaces require upkeep resources such as tools to function efficiently. These aren't consumed in crafting but wear down over time, needing regular replacement. Thankfully we're already doing that. That's why the tools are so important, otherwise your industries will collapse without the imported tools. Let's get our workers back in here. And we've got people in here now too. We do still need the carrots in this plot though, and we'll also do the expansion as well. Let's get our saw pit back working. Up to 9 units now, with 9 shields, so they're being equipped at least. And we'll have 2 woodcutters back as well, because we've got quite a lot of fuel consumption happening at the minute. 6 and 5 months on food and fuel respectively. In the end of winter, so we're starting to become a little more self-sufficient. With the raiders now just over 2 weeks away. Hopefully they don't come. Yeah, that would be bad for us. But we'll hopefully see them fight the AI, at least in today's episode. I'm going to try to keep these Manor Lords episodes a little longer so we can see some more progress, I think. Livestock trader is what we were wanting, wasn't it? I wouldn't mind this. Maybe we want our livestock trader, actually. I guess I wouldn't just mind it as a bit of a main street building, I suppose. We'll have our trader up here. We also need to provide the farming facility for it as well, including a sheep farm. Which, if we're going to start keeping sheep, I don't really want them up here, because this is probably going to be more dense city eventually on the way up to the castle. Let's see if we can even build on that actually, because it's quite steep here. So we could have our sheep farms perhaps on the edge of town. As you approach up into the village, you pass through the farms first, and I believe our rye fertility was also down here, isn't it? Yeah, so we can perhaps create a bit of an outer lying farm aesthetic. Quite a lot of fun. Enemy unit spotted. Where is it? Oh, it is here as well. Are you being serious? Every time? Literally every single time. Okay. Come on then. Is there any foragers? There shouldn't be. No. They're going to burn my foraging hut down though, aren't you? So unfortunately we won't get to see the first band attack the AI. Because as always everyone, they're attacking us first. Pretty well in every Manor Lords run we've done, this has happened. Let's meet them coming up the hill here. See if we can actually push forward a bit and get a bit of an advantage on the slope. Not too many retinue. So you can pull these guys off here. We should be able to defeat these. Get the retinue stuck in. Unfortunately, they're fighting in and amongst the undergrowth. It's a little difficult to see them. But we can always enjoy a fight, can't we? 100-second band. Redirect these here to try and take out this lower health brigand unit first while this other spears holds this other band. We are at less effectiveness than them. Be good one day if we can begin to develop military alliances with other settlements. We're at 80% now. Well, that has changed. It's different for every model, is it? I think. Come on. Let's wipe these Muppets out. We're nearly done. Speed this up a bit here. These guys are getting slammed, aren't they? Pull you out a little bit. See if we can just reposition here. Took one of them out. This is a real close fight, this one. When you've got the boys 3v2. Okay, that was squeaky bum time, everyone. That was a tight one. Right. Everyone go home. Okay, we now have bodies in the village, so we need to bury them. And we can do that by employing someone at the church, which will also upgrade while we're here too. Oh, that was a squeaky one, wasn't it? So we lost 2 retinue there, which is a little bit of a shame. But a challenge nonetheless, and the blood of our sons spilled just next to the clay mine. Very tragic. Yeah, so we probably would have lost a few key workers from that. But the family numbers should replenish with 69% happiness at least. Livestock trading post is done. And we can also begin to house them as well. We also want to build a little pasture next door as well for these sheep. They can just live happily on the roadside here. At 40 bodies. It's a very... Goodness gracious, there you go there. I think carrying them back now. Is he transporting logs, I think? Speaking of fresh harvest, the mushrooms would have been freshly fed by all those bodies, so we will go and harvest them. The cycle of life continues, of course. Don't need to worry about beverage too much right now. Yeah, just missing meat and fish, for which our sheep expeditions will help us with that. I really want to get these carrots planted as well. We'll wait for a little bit more cash to come in. I'm going to stick another logger in there as well. So we can start clearing some more forest. Our plank production has grinded to a little bit of a halt with no timber. I'll stick a few more hands on deck on that if you like. We do have 1k influence already. So we could claim one. Which would be nice to do it before any of these guys try and claim it. But the question is, which province do we want? So we can either go for rich fish and rich clay, which I really like the sound of that, or rich berries and rich stone. The other ones aren't particularly of any major note, are they? I think this one I think we'll claim Hockweg with our 1000 influence. We won't build in it yet because we just don't have the resources, but we can at least claim it as ours. Yeah, so that's done with the influence which you gain with the tithe taxation to the church. So let's set up our livestock trades. So we want to import... Oh, there we go. Hockweg claimed already. So I think we'll import sheep. Or actually, no, let's do lambs because they're a bit cheaper. We'll just let them grow up. Actually, I might do... We're just going to keep a surplus of 2 sheep, just in case we over-slaughter them or something happens to them. And then I will export lambs, but only export surplus over 6. So that way we can grow a herd of sheep whilst exporting the lambs. Although we'll probably slaughter them for meat at some point, I imagine, as well. Cool, so that'll earn us a little bit more money with livestock trade. Of course, once it has workers. For which... I think we could possibly do with maybe a few more hands now, I think. Can I move this well? No, I'll keep it there, actually. I will instead just kind of blend it into the town. And I think we'll have a few more smaller homes out here. But this road descends down the hill. Doesn't like that particular instance. Let's just redraw this road to be a bit straighter, I think. Curve was causing it some issues. That'll give us 4 homes there. One of them doesn't have a back garden extension. We'll build that once we have the logs. All the bodies should be buried now. Here we can even see the little graves popping up. People coming to pay their respects. Get someone working, buying those sheep. And then I need to steal a worker from somewhere. How many shields do we have now? Quite a lot, actually. Let's start selling those. Which is probably a major trade, isn't it? It is indeed. It's only 90 though, it's not too bad. Export those, and pretty much anything over a surplus of 50 should be fine. We also want to start processing the hide as well to leather, because we can sell that too. Let's come to our industry. I'll grab the tannery. We'll have this up near our industry this way. There we go, shields have immediately made it to market. We should get quite a bit of money for them. There we go, we have some more timber in now as well. Let's add to our houses. Give us some more hands on deck here so we can fill some more jobs. We've got pretty decent supply of food and fuel now as well. Although our meat variety has dropped away. Is there a possible cheap meat import we can use until we get the sheep up and running? Small game is fairly, I guess, the cheapest of the meat variants. I am importing a little bit too much though, I think now. How are we doing for spares in the armory, I wonder? Only 4. So yeah, I'll keep them coming in because we still have quite a lot of military to stop. The tannery is up and running. We've got some stuff to process. We can also stop importing dressed stone as well now. Which will be somewhere here. Yes. No need for that anymore. We'll buy that as and when we need it for the manor. Although one of the provinces does have rich stone, doesn't it? So we'll probably use that one actually. It won't be too long again before we're at 1000 influence. Which, that still does cost to claim. So hopefully we can get that before the AI does. And then we can use trading posts to use that rich stone to feed the castle, I suppose. That's how we'll try and manage that at least. And we do have sheep in now as well. So I'm going to steal a lumber worker. And you can come and start farming the sheep. We should see this guy now. Coming over. He's going to take some wool. So wool will process that another artisan into clothes. But these will slowly breed over time. A butcher would also be really useful now as well, because everyone's losing their meat and fish requirement at level 1. I would really like a boyer as another artisan. But I think the smart thing to do first is to go for the butcher. We are seeing small amounts of chicken and eggs beginning to filter through. But I think we just need more numbers. We've got a living extension to build here as well. Let's do that. And these guys could spend some money on chicken, but I really do want that carrot money. I guess you could call it seed money if you'll enjoy the pun. But we'll also save one of these to be our butcher as well. Our mining pit is exhausted now, is it? Yeah, that's all the clay done, so we can demolish this now. Super, how much clay did we get from that? Quite a lot, but I guess we have been processing it into tiles as well, haven't we? You can also stop as well then, clay furnace, because you have nothing to process anymore. And that gives us a few more hands, so I'm going to go full stock on these guys now. Would also give them a second horse. Simply just so we can shift more volume of shields. I'm also going to stick some more hands back in the salt mine as well. We'll get 3 in there. And then wool is beginning to make its way. Now that'll just stockpile. We'll eventually process that into clothes for level 2 houses. And also begin to plow on with some more chickens. And these back garden upgrades here. And mushrooms have also finished for yet another season. And I think we'll stop exporting our planks now as well, since we've crashed the global economy. So we'll let that recover a little bit and let our stockpile come back up. Because we're turning those planks into shields anyway, so they're still going to be processed regardless. And we'll get more money from that trade. And I think for small meat, because I'm going to have to bring something in to sustain them. It's funny how a lot of the trade rules say never trade this good. It's like, well, are we supposed to trade anything then? I mean, I need to trade it for the time being. Import 10 small game. I think we'll go with that. Everyone at the trade market's moving around now. So you wonder. I think I'm going to stick another large storehouse worker in. And possibly another large granary as well. Just so those resources are making it back to the trade post. It looks like they're actually going to the production sites like the salt mine to grab them. Wild Wand is being claimed. Is it? Which one's that? This one down here? Okay, that's good. Oh wait, no. This one? So this one's being claimed, right? But this one's glowing for some reason. Okay, well they're claiming the other one. I mean, we'll eventually fight them for it anyway. I'm going to kill the spear import for a minute so we can buy the large shield export route so we can start selling those. And we could also shift some firewood as well. It's not worth an awful lot, but every little helps. Keep a surplus of 100 in. There we go, another ruler's army was sighted. Fantastic. So we can see the AI now. Wonder where you're heading. Right over here. Are you... You're not attacking, are you? No, they're just marching through. Wonder if they're heading to clear a bandit camp, are they? We'll track them and see where they go. It's very exciting to see the AI armies actually interacting. This is what I've been waiting for in Manor Lords for so long. You know, just to see something else happening on the map. And here it is. Here is that something else. AI coming to clear out a bandit camp. They're a little more well stocked than us, of course. They might be using mercenaries there. No, it actually looks like the brigands are winning. They're certainly more effective up on the hill there, aren't they? But they've just not got the numbers. There they go. And then they'll go off and claim the camp for themselves. Brilliant. Fantastic. Right, let's come back here. We finally have enough. Oh, I'm going to buy the trade route for shields first, before carrots. Because that will exponentially increase our regional wealth growth. There we go, we can see some small game, I think, filtering through now, can't we? Yeah, there we go. That's just helping prop up their happiness, which is great news. All our timber's been eaten. I'm going to go for 4 workers in the log camp now. Looks like they've still got some trees to clear in this area, so we'll wait a while before moving it again. And there is our seed money for carrots, which will give us more food production here.
This is heavier than it looks.
And that leaves us with just... Oh, no one lives there yet, that's why. Who else is unhappy? It'll just be the level 2s, I think, won't it? It says you're unhappy, but you seem to be okay. Water access is limited for you guys, is it? Okay. Looks like we want another well, which I cannot see with the overlays in the snow. Where do we want here? I guess a well down here for you guys, on the edge of the town. The underground water sources are pretty limited on this map. That should catch you there, though. Oh no, yeah, look, they are claiming it now. The blue guys are very territorial, aren't they? Holy smokes. Okay, yeah, so he's claiming both regions. I cannot fight him yet. Well, at least we managed to claim this one, which will definitely set up. Like, once we have the wealth to get out there and build it, I think. So otherwise, guys, I think we'll leave part 1 of our... Oh, there we go. Where are we? I think we'll leave part 1 of our Manor Lords Update 5 run there. Expect many more videos on this series. We'll go to map completion, fighting the AI, map domination. Now this public update is available. I think I'll keep the Manor Lords videos to public updates from now on, and the beta branches tend to be filled with quite a lot of bugs, like the clothing bug was a real issue in the last beta branch. But if you haven't played it, come check out Update 5. It really is just an absolute ton of fun. And I'll see you next episode. Big shout out to the patrons and members that support these videos. Links down below to Patreon and Instant Gaming if you're interested. Otherwise, I thank you all so much for watching. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day.